Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor and this is going to be my birthday book haul. I got a few books for my birthday and I got them in a fun way, so this is just going to be a quick video about that. I was very lucky that my boyfriend took me to Edinburgh for a couple of nights for my birthday, and as part of that we spent a couple of hours going around some second-hand and independent bookshops in Edinburgh, and that's something I've always wanted to do, so I was very lucky that we went and did that. So I'll just show you a couple of the books that I bought. I sadly didn't think about taking any video clips of these bookshops until after I was back home. It's just I obviously don't vlog very often, and I definitely don't vlog out of my house, so I didn't think of it until I got back home. But next time I'm out book shopping I might take some video clips. It would have been fun, but I'll try and insert a couple of photos that I took of the shops, because one of these shops, one in particular, was Armchair Books. Got the little business card here, was so higgledy-piggledy. I absolutely loved it. The first book I picked up was Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, book one of the Southern Reach trilogy, and it's now a it's now a Netflix original film, which I didn't quite realise. This is obviously the tie-in book, and it's actually quite a short book. It's less than 200 pages, but the back I thought was really interesting. So it sounds post-apocalyptic, environmental disaster zone, there's abundant wildness, there's a secret government agency, there's expedition to investigate it, gunfire, and a cancer epidemic. So it sounds really thrilling and really good, and as I said, a really short book, so I think I might read this and watch the film. I think that would be quite fun, so this caught my attention. This was the first book I picked up. The next book I picked up was The Fountains of Paradise by Arthur C. Clarke. I've read quite a few Arthur C. Clarke books, and for the most part I really enjoy them. I find him such an interesting classic sci-fi writer, and I really enjoy his look into the future, and this one sounded really interesting. Humankind, they build a space elevator at 36,000 kilometres high, anchored to an equatorial island in the Indian Ocean. So it's a big feat of engineering. So I think this seems right up my street. Sounds really fun. Although I didn't quite realise how minute the writing was, so this will be one I'll have to read closely. But yeah, I'm excited to get to this. I'm always looking for more books as part of the Masterwork collection, because you know they're going to be good. So yeah, I also love this kind of purple colour. It looks beautiful. We then went to an independent bookshop called Transreal, and they specialise in fantasy and science fiction books, which was like a heaven. It's a small little bookshop, and that's all they sell. They weren't secondhand though, they were just like a normal independent bookshop, and I could have bought so many books there, so it was really hard to kind of curtail myself. And I don't know about you, let me know in the comments if you're like this as well. I get really excited when I'm in a bookshop and I see a book I already own or I read and loved, like, oh, that's a book I would buy if I hadn't already bought it and read it and loved it. So I'm that person that I spot all of them and wish that I could have the enjoyment of buying and reading that again for the first time. I'm a bit crazy, but let me know in the comments if you're like that too. So in the end, out of all the books, I really wanted to buy, they had a couple of the Murderbot diary books by Martha Wills. They had a few, the first one in paperback and the rest in kind of hardback, but they're so expensive to buy novellas hardback. I just can't justify spending £14 on a 200-page book, especially when I've already bought them all on Kindle and that's how I read them. Maybe in the future, if there's a bind-up book or a collection or something like that, I'll invest in it, but I couldn't justify it there. The book I ended up buying, I only bought one there, was Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I've heard so much hype about this book over this last year or two on BookTube and on Twitter and all sorts. It's been very, very hyped, and it sounds right up my street. It's about necromancers, about lots of crazy skilled women, and it's the first in a trilogy, and it's the start of a heart-pounding epic science fantasy. So I'm actually really excited to pick this up, and I've never seen the cover really up close, but I really like it. I love kind of skulls and skeleton kind of motifs. I think it might be quite dark, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. So that's what I bought at Transreal. The next bookshop we went to was called Golden Hair Books, and I didn't buy anything from this bookshop, but it was beautiful. Really like minimal design, lovely colours, nice clean like layout, and they had a little room in the back that was just full of colour, and it was like the children's books, and it was just so well designed. I really enjoyed my experience of just walking around this bookshop. I didn't pick up any books there because it's a very well curated bookshop. So if it's the kind of books you like to read, it's a fantastic place for you. But they didn't really have much in the way of what I would read, and the few books that were there that I would perhaps read are ones I've already read or ones that I looked at and kind of decided that they weren't for me. But very, very beautiful shop, and I would maybe love to go back one day and maybe buy a book, because it seems like it's so curated that I can't say that. It seems like it's so well curated that the selection of books kind of changes fairly quickly. So I think that's a lovely idea. And the last book I bought in Edinburgh was actually from a second-hand bookstall. They don't have a physical shop anymore. I spoke to the guy for a wee while who ran the stall, and it didn't really have a name, I don't think, either, or I've forgotten if it did. They used to have a physical bookshop, but they couldn't afford to keep up the lease because second-hand books don't really sell for much anymore, and it's quite niche on who wants to buy second-hand books anyway. So on days that it's nice, they just have an outdoor stall. And the only book I saw that I was interested in buying was this beautiful edition of A Study in Scarlet and the Hounds of the Baskerville by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's this beautiful kind of, I don't know if it's real leather, this beautiful, well-kept hardcover edition of this book, or these two books, I should say. To my shame, I have never read any Sherlock Holmes book. I think I've read some kind of young adults tie-in books, and I obviously love the Sherlock Holmes TV series and the Sherlock Holmes films, but I've never actually read the original stories. So I'm actually really excited to pick this up at some point and read the original tale. And I just love this edition. I couldn't pass it up for the price that it was. So I'm really excited to own this edition. And then I said that was the last book I bought, but it wasn't the last book I got. So although my boyfriend spoiled me in Edinburgh and we did so many amazing things, he also bought me a book, which he didn't have to because he spoiled me rotten. He knew I loved Jurassic Park when I read it last year in 2020. And this is my little second-hand mass market paperback edition I have, with the edition of the bite marks from my kitten from when he was very, very little, which fits in with the theme of the book. But that was my edition of Jurassic Park. So he very, very generously bought me the Folio Society edition of Jurassic Park, which is absolutely stunning. It's illustrated, and it is just such a beautiful book. Inside pages are lovely. And I'll just show you some of the illustrations. So yes, I'm very, very lucky to have received such a beautiful edition of a book I really, really enjoyed. So that's all the books I got in Edinburgh and I got for my birthday. I was also very kindly given a book voucher and a book themed tote bag from some of my friends, and yeah, I was spoilt rotten, so I'm very lucky. So this is just a very quick video to tell you about my books I recently got. Not that I needed more books, because we need to show you in the next video how overflowing my TBR shelf is. I honestly can't buy any more books to fit on that shelf, otherwise I'm breaking my own rule of sticking to that one area of unread books. So I need to get cracking and read all these wonderful books I've got recently. So thank you for watching this video, thank you for being subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.